Hello, YouTube, and welcome to another video on my channel. My name is Toch, of course, and I am your host as usual. Why am I saying things that are obvious? Because that's what you do when you make YouTube videos. Now, this is going to be a different type of video. I've actually never made a video kind of like this. I'm going to be touching a bit on my personal life, but don't worry, it's nothing too crazy, and it is related to what I do professionally in a way, well, in a pretty strong way. So it all makes sense, it all connects. I've got to pull the mic slightly backward because that last clip was way too loud. Anyways. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience going through vitamin D deficiency. So now the reason I laugh is not because I think vitamin D deficiency is funny. In fact, it's very not funny. Having gone through it, it's not something that I would wish on anybody at all. I'm actually laughing at myself and how stereotypical my life is as somebody who's a software engineer or software developer. In the sense that, you know, we have this stereotypical image of like being dudes in like hoodies, sitting in front of computers in like a dark room all day and all night and just hacking away. And to be honest, that's pretty damn accurate, at least when it comes to me. That's pretty damn accurate. I'd say for the past at least 3 years, that is the majority of how I've spent my time between like all the different projects that I've worked on, all the different jobs, freelance contracts and stuff. I have spent my fair share of time sitting in a dark room in front of a computer and just hacking away. So I say all that just to set up the premise for why I eventually developed this condition. So now let's move on to the series of events which occurred that allowed me to discover that I was going through this condition. So I think I started feeling the symptoms of the deficiency somewhere around, you know, the fall last year, right after I was done with my summer internship, right? So throughout the fall semester, I was just feeling extremely fatigued, which is that's the first step or the first symptom that I experienced. And this went on for like months up until about last month, actually. This went on. So it would be like, you know, I would get my 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night, depending on whether it's a weekday or a weekend, but I would wake up still feeling exhausted. I would wake up still feeling extremely tired, and then I would take long naps in the middle of the day, like the afternoon, maybe around like 12 or like 3. I would take a nap, maybe a 2 or 3 hour nap. I would get up and then I would still feel extremely tired, and it was just like chronic fatigue over and over again. So prior to all this was when I was at my peak, so to speak, right? That rhymed. Anyways, prior to all... So if it's not already obvious, like I absolutely have no script for this video. I'm just like winging it 100%. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be a complete hot mess, even though so far it's looking like it might. But carry on we shall. So prior to that, I was at my peak, and what I mean by that is like I used to get up at like 5 a.m. every single morning, and I did this for at least a year and a half, close to a 2-year period. I would consistently, maybe not, you know, 365 days a year, but at least 80% of the days in the year I would get up at 5 a.m. consistently. But at that time, like I just could not do it at all. Like not even till now, I'm lucky if I can get up at like, you know, I shoot for 6 a.m. now, but like, you know, back then, like that, even that was like way too much. I just couldn't do it at all. And so I was just thinking to myself that, you know, maybe I had lost my drive, you know, maybe I had lost my passion, and I somehow overnight just became extremely lazy. These were the thoughts that were going through my head at this time. And this went on for, you know, like I said, months, since the fall of last year to the spring, or close to the spring, well, late February of this year. So in late February, I started to experience the second set of symptoms. And what started happening was that I was having like severe brain fogs. So it was like I would get up, but then like my head would just feel like my brain was evaporating, right? Like it felt like what do they call that thing that athletes put hot and cold, whatever it's called, like those hot cold patches thingies, right? It felt like I had one of those on like in my head, and like everything was just evaporating out of it. Like I couldn't think, I couldn't focus, my cognitive ability like diminished tremendously at this point. And so this was like the last straw for me, because I can handle, you know, the fatigue, being tired, like physical symptoms of things, you know, like I can handle, I can self-medicate. But like as soon as my cognitive ability, which is like my really the only thing I have going for me, right, started to diminish. And you know, I am in school, in college, taking computer science semester, which those are brutal, and I'm also, you know, working freelance contracts on the side. So like the last thing I needed was not being able to focus and solve some linear algebra equation, or focus and write some module for one of the applications that I'm building for a client. So I couldn't, that was the last straw for me. So I said, you know what, F it, I'm going to a doctor. And so I made my first visit to the doctor's office for this condition. So I get there, you know, the doctor does the whole checkup thing, and then, you know, they take blood so that they can run screenings and all that jazz, and they sent me on my merry way at the end of the day. And so they tell me to come back the next week. I think it was on a Tuesday or something. So I come back, I get there. This time it's a different doctor who's reading my test results, my blood test results. And so she's going through everything. She's like, okay, you know, this looks fine. Your thyroid is fine. It's not a thyroid issue. It's not this, it's not that. But looky here. And she's like, your vitamin D levels are really low. And so when I say they were really low, I mean they were really damn low. So like I think the normal levels for an average adult is something, so I'm not sure what the units are, but the value is about like 30 or something. My levels at the time was a 7, right? So the normal level is like a 30, right? My level was at a 7, which was like pretty horrible. I think that was like near severe vitamin D deficiency, and like that just opened my eyes, and I was like, wow, I gotta start making some changes, you know? And so they wrote me a prescription for some like super extra strength vitamin D pills, which I picked up at a CVS and which I take once a week. And I've been doing that for, I'd say, about the past 3 or 4 weeks or so. I'm due for another visit, or at least another checkup back again, because that's what the doctor said, just to, you know, see if it's working and my levels are getting back to normal, which I plan to do very soon. But other than that, like I feel much better. The brain fog has significantly subsided, although it's still kind of there. I feel like the fatigue is getting better and better. I'm certainly not as tired as I used to be, you know, like a month ago, 2 months ago, when like it was like pretty damn bad. So things are getting better, slowly but surely. So what's the moral of the story? Don't be a hermit crab like me. Take care of yourself. Live your life in the way that you can, but, you know, also keep in mind that your health is number one priority. If you're not feeling good, you can't perform good, you can't be good. So keep these things in mind. Go for checkups regularly, because if I hadn't gone for that checkup, who knows what other symptoms or how bad things could have gotten. Just, you know, because vitamin D also helps support your immune system. So who knows if I could have gotten infected by something and something crazy might have happened. But thank God that didn't happen. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you found it entertaining. And if you found yourself chuckling a bit as I was explaining my hermit lifestyle, don't worry, I am a hermit. You know, it is what it is. I am what I am. And I thank you for joining me and watching this video today. If you like this kind of stuff, I'm not sure if I'm going to make more videos like this on this channel. I don't know if I want to get any more personal than this, but I don't know, who knows, maybe I will, maybe I won't, it all depends. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. If you want to see more of my usual content, which is, either I'm talking about some freelance contracts I've done, or I'm giving a review for some software package, even though I haven't made one of those videos in quite some time. But I have one in the pipeline that I've been trying to find some time to wrap up and ship it out, but I will do that soon. Anyways, if you like that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, take it easy, stay healthy, and go out in the sun.